Object detected.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miata channel. It's been a really epic year for me, and I'm still trying to get out all those videos I promised you. Still working on it, so don't give up on that yet. There's going to be a lot to come over the winter. One thing I thought I'd do as a way of marking the end of the year is I went through some of the comments on the videos throughout the year, and I pulled out a selection of them that I thought it would be fun to respond to in a video. And yeah, I did respond to some of these already. I'm going to go through it in a little more depth on some of them, and some of them were just comments I thought were either funny or weird or just something that might be of interest to everybody on the channel. So I've divided these comments up into three categories, which are pretty much good, bad, and WTF, and you'll see what I mean about this. But anyway, I'm going to start with the good ones. Those of you who have watched my Miata reunion videos saw that I did a video on all the custom license plates in there, and there's a whole bunch of them in there that I really didn't know what they mean. Fortunately, some of the people who either own the cars that have the plates on them or know the person who owns that car responded to my video and let me know what it actually means. The first one I want to start off with is MMV MSM. I had no idea what it was, and once the guy told me, I was kind of like, oh, duh, I should have thought of that. But what it is 2005 MSM in Roman numerals. Another one that somebody responded to was Poppy for Us, and as I mentioned in my video, I had a discussion with the owner of this car. He told me what it meant. I got back to the hotel and realized that none of my videos had audio on them, so I lost all that information. But what he's referring to is the state flower of California, which is a poppy that's kind of an orange color like the 30th anniversary car that it's on. And going on the same theme, RDOSPRY was another one I couldn't figure out, and the meaning of that is red osprey, which is referring to the red osprey bird, which is the state bird of California. And next on the list was XMAGLEN, which I had no idea what that means either. And what I've been told is that the gentleman who owns that car is Irish, and he's from an area that's called Crossmaglen. So that's a nice one. I never would have figured that out, and I thought I'd share that. And my personal favorite on the list was FCANGTI. And if I don't want to get beat up by YouTube, I can't really tell you what it means, but the owner said, sound it out. So it's FCAN GTI. Now I'll let you put all those things together. So that's what it means. And he said the meaning is a double entendre because those are also his initials. I guess he must have had a GTI or some point, or maybe he just doesn't like GTI, so I don't know. But that's what the license plate means. The next comment on my list comes from Matthew Henderson 5070, and he says, thanks for sharing. You should come to the Miatas at the Gap near the Tail of the Dragon sometime. Also a great place to see special and unique Miatas. I also agree with you 100% about the BRG, which is British Racing Green, should be a standard color. My 01 Special Edition gets a thumbs up wherever I go. And in case you don't know, the 01 Special Edition is the British Racing Green MB. Beautiful car. There were a number of really just amazing ones at Miata Reunion. And yeah, I agree. British Racing Green, they should even if they just did a special edition ND, I'd be totally into it. It has to have a tan top and a tan interior though. That would be awesome. And as for Miatas at the Gap, I would love to come sometime. I would absolutely love to come. The big problem that I run into is it's like a 4-day drive there and then a 4-day drive back. And I don't know if I can take that much time out of work. So I'd love to come. The problem is how do I get a Miata there? I don't know if there's a way to rent one or something like that. But if one of you guys that live in that area can help me figure that out, I'd love to come and visit. And I would definitely love to just run around and film everything. So if you know any way I can set that up, hit me up at zeke@miatachannel.com. The next comment on my list, and please forgive me in advance if I butcher your name, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Jeff Gadutis 8261. Thanks for posting some really hot cars. Greetings from Exeter, England. Greetings to all you in the UK too. I've been seeing there's been an uptick in people visiting my channel from the UK. And in the spirit of traveling around, I would absolutely love to come visit the UK. I've wanted to for a long time. And if I'm going to be out there, if there's any way I can hook up with the Miata scene out there, that would be awesome. Maybe you guys can let me know how I can get that hooked up too. And again, Zeke@MiataChannel.com. The next comment comes from my What Happened to My NC video, and if you haven't watched it, I hit a deer with my NC and did a bunch of damage to it, and that's why it was gone for a while, and that's why I didn't post a bunch of videos for a while. But anyway, this comes from Tony Lee 3224, and he says, also, I'm glad you're okay. What happened to the deer? Well, unfortunately, the deer passed away. It was hit by another car behind me after I hit it as well. So the deer did not survive. It probably wouldn't have been good if it did. It was in pretty bad shape after I hit it, and after the next car hit it, yeah, that was pretty much it. So anyway, he says, I have a 2011 NC2 with sparkling black paint too. You mentioned you're having it painted. Just wondering if you will be able to paint it like the original, because our paint has this distinct gold sparkle in it. Just wondering how and where you're going to get it. I'm thinking about repainting mine too. So yes, those of you who didn't see that video, my NC is going into the body shop here in a couple of weeks. It is going to be repainted the factory color. I picked the same body shop that did some work on my Mazda Speed, and they matched the paint pretty much perfectly. So I think they were a good choice for me to do this one as well. Probably not going to see it back until after the beginning of the year. And when it comes back, it's going to be looking just like it did when it was new. Everything's going to be repainted. I'm fixing the top, fixing all the damage on it, repainting the bumper. It's going to look great. I've been debating on changing my wheels. It currently has the gunmetal Kogeki 17x8 on it. I've been considering going to the bright silver Kogeki because I like the way the silver and black contrast on my car. Whenever I put my stock wheels back on, I kind of miss that silver and black look. So I'm kind of debating on it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know whether you think I should go to the bright silver or stick with the gunmetal. I haven't decided yet, and I really haven't decided what I'm going to do to the car in 2024. I'm kind of at a point to where the only mods I can do are going to be big jumps, so I don't know how my budget's going to support it. I got a lot of stuff I got to do next year. But if you do want to help me pay for the channel, I have t-shirts like this and like this. And this one, just to FYI, has been through the wash so many times I can't even remember, and it's still in fantastic shape. They say Miata is always the answer on the sleeve. And of course, this is my Mazda Speed. This was the first image that I posted to celebrate the start of the channel. I have stocking caps for those of you who like to drive in the winter like I do. I've also got stuff like coffee mugs. I can make basically whatever you want. And I've also considered doing a contest where if you guys send me pictures of your Miatas, I'll pick one every month and make a new shirt out of it and make it available to everybody. And the winner will get a free shirt. Let me know if you like that idea and I'll set that up. So if you want any of this stuff, it's available for sale at Miata-channel-shop.fourthwall.com. There's a link down in the description. So that's it for the good. Now we're going to start getting into the sketchy ones. And some of these are a little more sketchy than the others. Some of them are just absolutely absurd. So let's just say this group of comments has to deal with owners of a certain car that comes in a certain color that Mazda just put out in the last year. If you don't know what I'm talking about Zircon sand. But let's just say that those owners do not like me making fun of their cars. And I can tell you I know how this goes because I used to be part of a Camaro Firebird group. And I used to own a pair of really, really rare Firebirds. One is a 1998 Trans Am WS6, one of 6 that were made with a manual transmission in this color. Very rare car. And the one below it is a 1998 Firebird Formula hardtop, which is also rare, also the same color, which is called bright purple metallic. And a purple car in that environment, let's just say it creates a lot of comments about your. So let's start off with a mild one. So Random Vids 277 says, I think the Zircon sand goes hard. And nah. No, it doesn't go hard. Maybe like a piece of Jello weightlifting, that's about how hard it goes. But no, not hard. I responded to him and I said, on a CX-50, but on a Miata, no. And he responded and he said, it's okay to have a different opinion. Yeah, I agree. We do have a different opinion. You like Zircon sand? I don't. You know what? The world goes round. Doesn't make a difference whether we like it or not. Nobody likes the same thing. If I don't like your color, you need to just deal with it. And now we're going to get into the people who need to deal with it. So my next comment, Lawrence Lucas 45, says, too much personal opinion and bias. And in this video, the only things that I posted that were my personal opinions were a discussion about the automatic versus the manual, which I kind of discussed the merits of both. So I don't think he's talking about that. And how much I hated Zircon sand. The next comment on my list comes from Frank Frankenstein 5933, and he says, don't be a jerk. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Just because you don't like a certain color, who cares what you think, with the cursing emoji on it. So my next comment is from Chuck Luttrell 7639, who says, I own Zircon sand and I get lots of like to love compliments. It's a great color, especially in person. Have you seen it in person? You lost my subscription. You lost my subscription for being so opinionated. There's a lot of people out there that love it. I would say there's probably a lot more people out there that hate it. I see way more comments of people talking about how terrible Mazda's color palette is. But to answer the question, yes, I have seen it in person. If you've watched my Miata reunion videos, yeah, there's at least 2 shots of the Zircon sand, which I'll put here and here. And no, I still don't like it. I think the best description that I heard from somebody was, it looks like the color of your motor oil after you blow a head gasket. And that's not something I want to think of every time I look at my car personally. And I'm sure there are people out there who think I'm an idiot, which, yeah, I am. And yeah, who cares what I think? I am not saying you have to believe Zircon sand is a terrible color. If you go to a comedy show and you're listening to a comedian talking about something and he says something that offends you, what do? Do you stand up and tell that person, hey, I'm offended by what you just said? What's going to happen? That person is going to make fun of it even more. You just need to learn to deal with it. I mean, not everybody's going to like it. You know, we're not all the same. And I'm not here to just, give you the facts in the most boring way possible. I'm having fun. This is my channel. I'm doing what I want. If you don't like it and you're going to unsubscribe,
well, bye.
So now we're going to get to the really fun stuff. And maybe this person should have kind of looked at their username and kind of asked themselves this question, because this person's account is, did you really post that 5710? First of all caps. Seems right from the start that age has not improved your ability to balance personal taste with good judgment. Whatever your choice of color and your opinions, surely you can recognize that people and their tastes vary across the board. Perhaps you would have been wiser and more diplomatic to say that Zircon sand is not for you. But to describe it thus is to alienate some of your watchers who will not be impressed with your critical view of their choice. Really, no such thing as a bad color, just what works for you, and an acknowledgement that other colors work for other people. Time for you to grow into your age. Well, that's not going to happen. First of all, find the caps lock on your keyboard. Nothing says old angry guy like an all caps post like this. It's like you never learned how to be on the internet. Second of all, I don't do this to impress people. No, I don't. I do this for me to have fun. There are better things in life to worry about than whether or not my opinion about a paint color offends somebody. That's it in a nutshell. And he responded to me and he said, it's plain to see that there are very many things in your life to worry about that keep you from acting like a rational, reasonable individual. You post, you learn the hard way to accept whatever comes down on your head when you talk errant nonsense. Hope that helps. And yes, that does help. It tells me that you, of all people, should not be telling anybody they need to act like a rational person, because no rational person would get this upset about somebody making fun of a color. It's a color. And as I was going through this comment, I found that this person had posted many other times in response to other people. But the last comment from this guy is the mwah, chef's kiss. I hadn't seen it until just now. I read this and I laughed out loud because this is one of the funniest comments I've gotten all year. What if some soul red crystal hater called it serial killer blood red or communist gulag red? Do you understand the point being made? Yes, I do. Somebody's got some anger issues here. That's the point being made. And I don't care if they called it Satan's balls red or whatever. You know what? I still love the color. It doesn't matter what they call it. They could call Zircon sand anything. They could call it the world's most amazing color, and I still wouldn't like it. It's not the name that's the problem. It's the color. It's bland. It's like a peanut butter sandwich on white bread. It's that bland. And, you know, if that floats your boat, more power to you. But I like cars that are bright. And if you've ever looked in my videos here, you can see why I like bright colors, because a lot of the time it's gray. I live in Seattle. It rains here a lot. It's overcast a lot. This place is known for rain. And I go outside and I see that and I don't like it because I want to see the sun. I want to put my top down. I want to drive the sun. I don't want to see gray sky. And when the sun comes out, the sky is this beautiful shade of bright blue. And it makes me so happy. And that's what those bright colors make me think of. Bright colors make me think of that blue sky and how much I love it. And the bland colors make me think of that gray, dull sky. And I'm sorry, I can't get into them. Okay, so that's all the video I'm going to do today. I have a ton of videos coming up. I still have the 130 miles of curves. I have the Oregon Insanity Drive. I have all the stuff that I did over the summer. I'm going to finish that whole story over the winter. And I've still got the 2024 Miata information, which is going to be coming out any day now. So stay tuned for that. And you can bet that I'm going to post that. And if I want to make fun of Zircon sand, I'm going to do it. So you guys are just going to have to deal with it. So anyway, see you next time.